LRPs.
Some of the best yet. Some of the best yet. They bite like that, like that, like that. Big bass, double digits.
Kick up the fire right on top.
Low fall, blast off, trying to get some cast off. Doing this here for years, get my pass on. Stream mask on, putting in work. Snap back, got me focused, never settle on a shirt.
One. I'm in love. One.
Bunch, nice fish. Oh, there he's hooked up. That's a good one.
Decals.
They bite that thing with a vengeance. Yeah.
How's your morning going?
I think it's great. Oh, look at this.
Look at that.
Pretty one.
Beautiful
a
spot.
bunch with him too.
Oh my goodness.
Nope, I'm hooked up too.
Uh-oh, we got a double.
We got a double.
So wind down and then
Yeah, just reel them in closer to you. Yep.
there
There
you
you
go.
go. That's good.
Yeah, and even just right into the middle of the cockpit's good. Okay.
There we go.
Hey.
We have caught a bunch of nice fish like this today. I mean, that's just a 15-inch, 16-inch keeper spot. Here. Got it? Yep.
Here, get in here real quick. Let me see these things. Open up for me, brother.
Just nice one. We put good hooks on them.
Yeah.
See, what you do is you go like this, so mine is bigger. There we go. That's the
time.
biggest one of the
There
day.
you go.
Anyways, I got you by a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But oh, they fight so well.
They're so cool.
That's awesome. Oh,
Good times.
boy, and when they hit that thing, they just come up, boom, just like that. Awesome.
The spots, they always blast it.
Yeah, there's no little nibble with
No.
the spot, you know. They let you know that you're there.
Especially when they're this aggressive right now.
That was fun.
It is kind of reminiscent of the peacock bass type bite,
Yeah.
just on a
Yep.
smaller
Yep.
scale.
Yep. See. That
They
river.
track that. They
Yeah.
track that moving bait, and
Yeah.
and just it's not like the sexy dog. They'll come up there and just get it because it's moving. It's
Yeah.
But this when it's at a straight pace, this wake bait or that
Yep.
that plopper, they just. You never know where they're going to show up.
Oh, that's so cool. It could be way out there or right at the boat.
Hey,
Right
on
up
the
shallow
point,
on
yeah.
the point. It's just a big flat out here now. They're just in the area. There's shadow around, obviously. Not on this.
Well, we got another little point in here
Yeah,
now. Rinse and repeat.
You gonna move? I guess I'm just gonna go on high on the trolling motor. But look at how far off of the bank, we are on there.
Yeah, we're sitting in what?
Now we're on top of it, 37 foot.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys that don't feel comfortable fishing for bass this far off the bank.
With the mapping, you know, nowadays it makes it easy to know what you're fishing and what's around it. You know, I mean, if you looked at the shore, you don't necessarily know how the creeks run and things like that, but with the Lakemaster mapping, you can see everything and say, well, hey, that one point has, you know, that steep creek that runs along close to the side, or, you know, something irregular or unique. And that's usually what it takes, is in an area like this, they'll be on the one point that is unique to that area, that's different than the rest of them. And it doesn't matter necessarily that it's the same as the next pocket, it's just whatever's unique for that area. They're really good about finding the best optimum spot to ambush the bait.
Don't worry, nobody saw.
Yeah, I know. Bait hit the back and that did it. Yeah. All right, hold on.
Need a hand with that?
I'll work it out.
So here's a couple odd questions for you, Kevin. You got a guy that's been in the print side of this industry for a little bit of time. Oh, he's got himself a situation here. Then you got yourself a person like me who's been heavy on social media, and those worlds are colliding more and more often.
Yeah, they are. It's having a huge impact on print because it's a business issue on how you monetize what you do. You and I talked about that in different ways, and print has relied on advertising for years, and advertisers are looking for new ways to connect with its users, and so it's affecting how we do. And so we've had to make some changes there as far as frequency and what we do. And the other thing too we talked about the other day, with younger readers, they want information in a fundamentally different way than our older readers, and that's a battle. And we're not the only print company that's going through that.
Nice. Hey Kevin, I remember, you know, as a 10, 11, 12-year-old just fishing freak, you were the new guy. I remember those days, you know, and obviously you've had a pretty long and storied career, and you've seen that change.
Yeah, it's amazing across the board how the internet itself, just the internet alone, has changed bass fishing. And nowadays, social media especially, you know, you can get any information you want. You know, so if you want to learn more about wake baits, you Google that, and you're going to you can see 100 YouTube videos about different wake baits and how to fish them, and you know, different areas of the country and things like that. And it's true for every technique. So it's really helped the younger generation, you know, move up the learning curve a lot faster, because there's so much good information out there. The deal is, though, still, there's no substitute for time on the water and that experience. So, you know, I've been, you know, fishing professionally for 28 years now, and you know, I've seen and done a lot, but I learn every single day. You know, I mean, I came out yesterday and really wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen out here on the lake, and you know, I was catching them with Topwater, and I tied on a wake bait, and it was just, you know, it was like twice as many bites on that. So it's crazy how, even though you may think you know everything and you've seen it all, it's never the case in fishing. It's different every day, and they're always doing something around you. So one just popped up right there. Let's see if we can get him.
That was a good one too.
You know, Oliver, the other thing too was with print, a generation ago, it was based on scarcity. People didn't have all the different avenues that available to now, like the internet, like Kevin said. So scarcity means we can control that, really, and that's what print did. All right, TV in the old days when there was only 3 stations, you controlled it. Okay,
we got the 4th channel.
That was amazing. So now that there's no scarcity, you kind of lose that ability to charge for it.
Well,
That was a good one there.
I think that scarcity also elevated the quality of the content as well, right? Because those opportunities to showcase that content were fewer and far between.
Yes.
You couldn't put up garbage.
No, you couldn't.
You're not going to last long with any, and that's in the print side of it. The survivors are the ones that are leading the pack, are the ones that have what people want. You know, the quality information. You know, better. You know, better, higher quality YouTube videos compared to, these, simple ones with horrible sound, higher production, better quality shot films. It's the same way in every medium now.
The camo industry is similar. When outdoorsman specific camo first came out with tree bark and real tree and mossy oak, the quality of the garments really wasn't all that good. It didn't make any difference. Sportsmen were able to get custom camo. But as more people got into it and more people bought it, they required them to make better quality. And now the kind of outdoor gear that we wear is just phenomenal compared to what it was 30 years ago.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get that one.
I think what happened was I came back and I think I hit the chair and that threw me off, and I've been picking at it a bit. It's a good one.
I've done that a time or two.
Oh yeah, it's like, I'm surprised it didn't happen before.
Oh, you were like a machine for hours. What's the one thing, Kevin, you would tell these young guys with these big dreams and aspirations that, want to follow in your footsteps or just do anything related to their love and passion for this game?
Well, on the fishing side, the best way to learn is to fish with as many different good anglers as you can. If you and I just fish together every day, all we learn is what each other knows and what we figure out together. But, as you get to fish with a lot of different people in a lot of different areas. Every day, man, it's like, a huge jump in that learning curve. And you're going to pick different things up from different guys, and that's a big deal. So, but from the business standpoint, way more than the fishing, I think it's really having a good educational background. And in this sport now, companies are looking for savvy people that are going to represent their brands, well, how you dress is important, how you communicate. Obviously, social media is a huge part of that now, but it's all about marketing. If Strike King's going to give somebody $100, they have to sell 7 to 10 times that in lures just to break even. And companies aren't in business to break even, so you got to keep that in mind. If you're going to go and approach a sponsor and say, well, man, I need to get this from you, a boat or whatever, you got to show them how you're going to give them a return on that investment in you. And that's something that a lot of young anglers don't get. They just think, oh, if I do well in tournaments, people are just going to pay me. It's not that way at all. You have to be able to provide return, and for some companies, it's direct sales that does that, but other companies, it's branding, that they're looking for. And so, ways to be able to showcase their brand or their products, and to have a platform. That's why you see a lot of people with television shows showcasing, those particular products on there, because that's what those companies are looking for. So, oh yeah, we got them blowing up out here too, way out from us.
Yeah, I think too many people focus solely on the fishing side of it and forget, being well-rounded, having a good education, just being smarter so you can just continue to do things better, including your fishing.
Yeah, no doubt. I think a marketing degree is probably one of the best things you could do in this day and age if you want to become a professional fisherman.
And now that means so many different things.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. A lot of things that didn't exist when I was a youngster or in high school.
Yeah, with the huge growth we're seeing in high school and collegiate bass fishing now, you see a lot more well-polished, well-rounded young anglers coming up. They're all have jerseys with their sponsors on them in their schools and things like that, and they're doing a lot of those things. So just like any sport, if you want to be a Major League Baseball pitcher, boy, the road to get there is really, really, really hard to do, and it's hard to stay there. And as the sport grows and things get more competitive, you're going to see the same thing. And to me, it's exciting to see the changes and to see the future, with all these young guys like that coming up. So it bodes well for the fishing industry.
Very cool. And how are we living over here?
Well, it's looking better, but maybe a lost cause.
Here, you want me to give a shot at it?
I didn't want to cut the line. I got about half of it taken care of it.
The key is always find that magic.
That's why I pull it apart and find the one loop that's holding it. I was able to get some. Yeah, Kevin, I interviewed a guy who does Savage TV, Mike Stroff, and he talked about the differences. And so many guys get in because they say, "Oh, I can hunt," and he says it's a business. And same thing you said. It's all about return on investment, and then, as he said, marketing. And he says, I have to sell myself, and I have to be a good person and competent, and then understand the needs of my sponsors and make sure they get a return on that. And if they don't see a return, he said they're not going to do business with me.
Yeah, you're not going to renew for sure. It's no different than anything. I have to quantify myself every year to the companies I work with.
Yeah. But he told me one thing. He started as an outfitter, and then kind of backed into TV. And he says it's a lot of work, and I do it because I love it. And but he takes his sponsors out, and he said the following year when we have a meeting and I'm in his office and that really nice whitetail's on his wall, he said that really helps me sell the next season.
I think the relationship part of it is important too.
It's really important.
Well, and there's a lot of companies. I know some guys that make a really good living as professional anglers, and their focus is all sponsors for hospitality. For being able to entertain their customers. Get some of their suppliers or people out on the water. Companies will use them to do that, to just show them a good time. And it's not about selling a product or anything like that. It's just about entertaining business partners of that particular company. So everybody has learned on tour that you have to be creative to find ways to attract new sponsors, especially companies that aren't in the fishing industry. It's obvious, to go to a lure company or a rod and reel manufacturer, something like that they obviously need to get their products out there into the fishing world. But for a plumbing supply company or a soft drink company or somebody like that, it's different. But fishing is a unique way to for them to showcase something different than their competitors to what they're doing. And so you'll see a lot of them do that. I have a lot of friends in NASCAR, and NASCAR is a huge hospitality sport where they bring people into the races just to entertain them for the day at that particular event. So it's important to understand what a company is interested in when you approach them for sponsorship. What their goals are, if they're trying to market, or they're trying to sell directly, or if they have an interest in just entertaining people. You got to be creative in selling yourself these days. Now I have more rods in here, so I think that one's a toasted.
Yeah,
I think I really toasted that one. Sorry.
I could get it, but
let's get that one, and we'll get a new program here, and let me get another one out.
Sorry about that. It was
no problem.
it's part of the game. Thank you. And who are you with?
Field and Stream.
Wow.
One of the great ones.
Absolutely.
It's almost 125 years old.
No kidding.
And I've been there 37 years, and I love it.
Fantastic.
But just like what Kevin was saying, with outdoor writing, people say, you guys get to hunt and fish all the time. And I said, actually, we spend more time in an office producing the product that you like to read. That said, I do some cool stuff like what we're doing today.
Yeah,
and that's what keeps me young and keeps me doing what we're doing. But you have to put your time in and make sure you put out an excellent product that the readers are willing to pay for.
Field and Stream is one of those iconic publications that is well-rounded, and they cover every aspect of fishing and hunting and the outdoors, survival.
It's it was a dream job for me as a young man, and people always said when you went out, remember you represent the magazine, and always remember that. And we have readers who write in about stories they read 30 years ago.
Wow.
And it still resonates with them. That's an amazing legacy for the magazine.
Yeah, one of the things I've liked is when they've kind of use some of those throwback covers and things like that.
Yeah. When we did that one last year, the new editor Colin Kearns did that, and they got a great reception of that because so many guys said, "I
have that one. I remember that issue." We're gonna move.
Okay,
find us some new victims.
Some fresh meat.
One. I'm only one. Only.
LRPs.
Some of the best yet. Some of the best yet. They bite like that, like that, like that. Big bass, double digits.
Kick up the fire right on top.
Low fall, blast off, trying to get some cast off. Doing this here for years, get my pass on. Stream mask on, putting in work. Snap back, got me focused, never settle on the shirt. I missed one and hit one, man, that's getting some. 2, 3, 4, 5 more, come on, that's ripping up. The way the basement's sticking, the way my feet.